Hey guys, Greg Med from Med for Knife. Any of you remember that British series called The Young Ones? There was a great, I remember one of the episodes, a great British comedy that used to be on the early days of MTV. And Rick and Vivian and Neil, I think one of the guys, some of the main dudes is dead now, but I always think whenever you go to shoot, the one about the, do they have a video player? Fucking great episode. Anyways, totally I haven't got a video. All right, listen. I have a bunch of knives headed off to Germany, so I'm like thinking about Europe. Some stuff's in my head right now. We've got a ton of knives headed to the IWA show in Nuremberg, and I thought what I would do this year is I tried to put together thematic things that Bavarians and Germans would like, and maybe it would catch their eyes. So I'll give you guys a little tour of kind of what's coming, and you can tell me if you like it or not. I hope you dig it. So Ames, why don't you pan down on the knives and let's show everybody. So first things first, there's a great, at the German National Museum in Nuremberg, there's a great Teutonic Knight display. So we thought we'd do a little set with the Teutonic Knight engraved. These are not just colored on the surface. These are actually cut, engraved, multi-layer anodized. They're beautiful. This is a lot of work. So I think those are pretty sexy. Did this one yesterday. It's got kind of a sandy shoals at an angle. If you think of like Lawrence of Arabia, panning in on these, you know, the camera crossing these dunes. And so what we did is we did the sandy shoals in the background, and we put a Tiger tank turret and gun on the foreground. So it's not too obvious from anybody like seeing it around here, but when you look at it, you can see the hatch and the main turret and gun off of a Tiger. And then this one's also heavily engraved with multi-layers of anodizing. It's just, you know, it's nice. It gives it a little bit of texture for gripping. It's just awesome. I'm really, really proud of the work you guys are doing here. We've got a little more kind of obvious B26. We had a lot of guys really like this one. I did it for a friend of mine. So this is, again, engraved anodized. So it's got heavy engraving you can feel with your fingers, and then it's got layers removed and colored. So it's really like a topographical map, so to speak. Let me show you another one. We did this one with this Bavarian crest, and this is all carved down into the titanium, and then it's been anodized at different layers. It's just really, really lovely. We also did a Berlin knife, which I thought was really cool. It's a map of Berlin, which has been carved. The streets have been cut down into the tie and anodized. And then, of course, it says Berlin across the face. So you wouldn't even know what it is. It just looks like a little multicolored textured handle. And then you get up closer and you're like, oh shit, that's Berlin. Let me let's take a look at. I thought this was really neat. This is our Ruthless Marauder, and so it's got the panels from an airplane with seams and rivets, which you can feel with your fingers, very tactile. And then Ruthless is cut and anodized, and the star and bar is actually sunk down into the material and anodized. For any of you World War II buffs who like all things aviation, Ruthless is actually, if you look online, you can do a search, a Google search for Ruthless B26, and this is actual nose art right off the airplane. We did a couple of iron crosses for obvious reasons. I mean, it's a cool German symbol without going all swastika, and it doesn't offend anybody very much. So this has been cut down in here deeply around the PVD. You can see cut titanium coming through, and we did it a little obscure, so it's just not so obvious. We did another iron cross on a Praetorian Genesis. So in the open position, it's across the whole thing, and then it's got little iron crosses on the pivot screws as well. So a little Germanic theme. And then we did So if you guys Google search Luftwaffe BF-109 or ME-109, if you look up ME-109, you will see a side shot of an ME-109 with a cool desert camo scheme on it and a bumblebee on it, and we kind of took that as the inspiration for this one, which I just think is beautiful. So up by the stacks on the engine, it was yellow below the engine, and then it had kind of a white belly and a gray speckled top, German cross, and a bumblebee on it. So we did one up like that, and I think it's got a real sexy look. This knife's not quite done yet. Getting ready to hop back into the room, and we're gonna put an edge on it and finish up the final hardware. But wanted to do some knives that just had some cool themes to the part of the world we'd be in. And I do this, you know, when we went to the safari show, we did some safari Big 5 knives, and when I go to New York, I try to do some stuff that kind of relates to New York and the Northeast, and stuff that speaks to people a little bit, and just kind of flex our creative muscle and let people see what we can do. So anyways, hope to see you at the IWA show in Nuremberg. It is in March. I'll be there with my cousin Steve again, and then we're going to be tearing it up in London when we're done. We're also going to the UK show this year, right, Ames? We got to reach out to them for that show in Britain.
Okay.
Remember we talked to the British guy about doing that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was his name? Do you remember?
Bollington. Bruce Bollington, and you talked to Schofield as well.
That's right. So I talked to both of our British folks who look like they're going to come on and carry some of our stuff in the United Kingdom finally. And they gave me some great gouge on getting into the country with our stuff and coming to the show. So hopefully we'll meet a bunch of you lunatic blade, British blade guys over at your show. It should be nice to reach out and go back to our, I don't know, that's the country of my ancestors, England and Ireland. So, and Greece on the other half, right? What you got going on? What's happening today, Annie?
I don't know. I'm kind of sucking my thumb today.
It's been a crazy couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I cooked breakfast for the kids this morning. I got them off to school, so they're happy as little clams, and we'll get this all packed up so that Mike can get a smile on his face, because he can't relax until this stuff's packed. So we've stressed him out enough. I'm gonna get off the video here. So Greg Med from Med for Knife, Amy on the camera. I'm out.